Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon.
And I am Marcus Mack, and this is the EAC Show coming to you from sunny South Florida. I believe we 8 episodes from episode 100, episode 92.
Effort Friday episode, and we're being joined by UCF activists, overall sports enthusiast, one of the originators on the EAC Show, Cameron Dinning, has returned for this Effort Friday. I'm going to tell you what. This is going to be a regular during football season. Effort Friday, Fuck It Friday episodes are great. We have a lot of fun. We're very playful.
We got Henny.
Henny. We're going to get into some college
got
football,
lemonade.
NBA talk, and then week 3 of the NFL. Cameron, thank you for joining us today on this Effort Friday episode.
Of course, man. I'm always prepared to talk football. It's exciting. I was out with I was sick for about a week and a half, so it feels good to be able to talk.
Absolutely, and not for nothing, Marcus is leading the first 2 weeks in picks. Don't ask me how it's happening, but it is happening, Cameron.
Well, because that has happened, we are now making Marcus pick the spreads and not just the winner.
Yes.
So we're gonna see how he does now.
Yes. We're gonna see how he does now.
I like picking the winners, man. Come on, man.
Now, Marcus, I know you have a little drop to do, so shout out Deanie's Lounge for the drop on what's going to happen tomorrow at Deanie's Lounge.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. This Saturday we'll be at Deanie's Lounge checking out the Florida State versus the Hurricanes game. Come out there, check it out with us. It's newly renovated. Big shout out to Deanie's Wings, drinks all night long. We rocking out. Newly renovated, 8 screens. We'll be checking out that, and UFC game is coming on right after. Y'all come out.
Fight?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. When I said UFC game, the UFC fight. Excuse me. Yeah. We checking out the game, and then we checking out the fight right after. So y'all come out and check it out with us.
So we got the Miami Hurricanes versus the Florida State Seminoles. The Miami Hurricanes are minus 11 favorites in that game. The over-under is 54.5. And then you got the Adesanya versus Costa fight later on in the evening. So, Cam, let me get into your pick, and then we'll get into Marcus Mack. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes minus 11. I'm not doing the over-under. I think the Hurricanes blow them out. Cam, give me who you think ends up winning that game, and then we'll go to Marcus, who's going to be on site, literally hosting from Deanie's Lounge, the EAC Show.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, yeah, that's a big number. You say 11 or 11.5?
11.
It's 11 points. I mean, this is one of those games where you throw out the record books of the two teams, and FSU usually has the leg up in this matchup. But just based off of what I've seen over the last 2 weeks for the Miami Hurricanes in the opening game against Georgia Tech for FSU, I have to go with Miami and lay the 11 points. You know, Miami has been a quarterback away for about 5 or 10 years, and I think they finally have one in Derek King.
I agree with you. Go ahead, Marcus. Who you gonna go with? The U?
You know I'm going with the U, baby. You know I'm going with the U, baby. I'm representing the crib.
All right, so I got a question for you, Marcus. When you're there at Deanie's Lounge watching the games on those 8 screens, enjoying the ambiance and atmosphere, and shout out to Governor DeSantis. We already know we love Governor DeSantis on the show. Big Governor DeSantis show. Big Governor DeSantis show. He literally opened up all the bars, all the restaurants, full capacity, no restrictions anymore. He's not playing. So when you go to Deanie's Lounge, what chicken wings are you gonna order for your first order, Marcus Mack?
I mean, I'm going with lemon pepper, all flats, of course.
Yeah, you got to get
lemon pepper, all flats. But
lemon pepper Lou Will.
Yeah, that's a fact. But if you want to know what the specialty at Deanie's Lounge is, it's definitely going to be the Perry wings. Y'all come and get them Perry wings, man. Valid. Best wings I've had ever.
So Cameron, I got a question for you. How do you feel after watching your UCF fight, the Knights literally beat up on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets the other day?
I mean, I loved it. I mean, there was a lot of things to love in that game, a lot of things to dislike. It was maybe the worst third quarter I've ever seen us play that really kept Georgia Tech in it, but we blew them out in the fourth. And, you know, it was good to see. I had a little smack talk going on with some FSU fans because they were only able to put up 13 measly points in Tallahassee against them. And we come out, we drop a point shy of a 50 burger on the road. So it was fun to watch. I love seeing it. They're a decent program. They got an upstart thing going on in Atlanta, so I'm not going to shit on them. But I knew it was going to be an easy pick and win.
Who you boys got this weekend?
We have the conference opener on the road against ECU.
Okay.
ECU is lower pack of our conference, but it's a road game. It's ECU's first game of the season, so they've had time to only focus on UCF and get how to game plan on them. So I don't like the number. It's I think 24.5 for UCF on the road. I think ECU can do enough to cover it, but I obviously like us in the win.
So UCF first half, hammer it, hammer UCF
Yeah.
first half.
Hammer us to get hot in the first and do some funny business in the third quarter like we usually do.
So Marcus and I have literally been giving you so many shout outs on the show, Cameron,
Respect.
because
I got a question. I got a question for Cameron when you're done. Go ahead.
So we've been giving you so many shout outs on the show because in all actuality, we always poke fun at you that America's team is the Dallas Cowboys, where you feel like the Green Bay Packers are really America's team.
You could say I'm right.
Your Green Bay Packers are looking like a PS4, PS5 version of Madden 21 right now with the way the offense is. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man, it's exciting to watch. To open up 2 divisional games. I mean, you had Mike McCarthy go, I think, 1-6 in his last 7 division games at the Packers, and Matt LaFleur is 8-0 to start his division matchup. So it's great to see him succeed, but also just speaking on experience of watching this team, Aaron Rodgers said that he watched some film from 2010, the year we won the Super Bowl. He watched that this past offseason, and he said it was like an epiphany. He saw something, and I don't know what it was. I think it's him setting his feet when he throws the ball because he usually throws on the run. So that's obviously been helping him out. And our we put up over 40 points in the 2 first games, but our defense hasn't been too tight. So if they can get into form of what they did last year, I really think this could be a repeat year for going deep in the playoffs.
Good. Marcus, your question before we get into the basketball talk.
Yeah.
Football talk for the end.
I wanted to ask Cameron, since, I know he's really big on college football. I want to know how you feel about the Deion Sanders move to Mississippi, to Jackson State.
I love it, man. I think, it's sad that, these historical black colleges, they were, in a way, a lot of these schools are pioneers with college football, and they just didn't have the money and the funding and the resources to go into these power programs when these power conferences were being formed, 50 somethings, 100 years ago. So it's nice to see an emphasis on trying to bring that back. I could see Ed Reed doing something like that, down the line. I could see a lot of like these old school, Miami guys, taking the path of what Deion Sanders is doing. He already signed Terrell Owens onto his staff. Warren Sapp is on their staff. So that's a fun staff down in Jackson State, which is in Mississippi, if I believe. But
that's an iconic staff. That's iconic.
Yeah, it really is. So it's nice to see that. And, you're starting to see some players like, I think it was Deion Sanders' son who came out and went to FAU over a lot of Power 5, scholarships that he had because FAU had a black head coach in Willie Taggart. So, it's something that, a lot of these kids, it's important to them. And I like to see, smaller programs. I'm always an advocate of smaller programs, whether it's FCS, Group of 5, historical black colleges, get their due and get some publicity.
Yeah, we're definitely rooting for Deion Sanders on this show without question. Marcus Mack, myself, and Cameron, we want to see them perform well and do really, really well and bring some uplifting stuff to kids that might not get exposure normally. Maybe Deion could put them in the limelight and get a couple kids on special team, practice squad, wide receiver, tight end, lineman, defensive end, quarterback, whatever it may be. As long as he can expose and bring that knowledge that he has onto some of those students, I think it's going to be immense for them without question. So now we're going to touch.
One more point on that, not to jump you. I mean, they'll get the X's and O's figured out. He'll hire a great staff to do that. But when it comes to putting kids in the limelight, I mean, that's prime time special. You're not going to get a guy that's better than that. So he's got that covered.
So now we're going to touch a subject that Marcus Mack has been extremely hot on lately. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to lie. I told this story today. Marcus and I saw each other today. 91 episodes. Marcus Mack did not know the difference between Kevin Durant, and he did not know how to tell a line in a game. He didn't know it. But today, Marcus Mack knows how to pick games. So we're going to talk about the game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, the Denver Nuggets ended up losing by 6 to the Lakers the other night. And presently, right now, the Miami Heat are up 7-5 on the Boston Celtics. Tell us a little bit about how you feel about what's going on in the NBA first. We'll touch the Denver Nuggets, and then we'll get into the Heat.
Well, I mean, if you want to get me started on Denver, I want y'all to understand something, right? Like I posted something on our Instagram page today about that up under left with to come around, and mind you, that was on LeBron in the hole, by the way. That Murray made that. You know what I'm talking about, right, Cam?
The layup.
He came in the switch.
The Michael Jordan reincarnated
right
layup. Yeah.
Right. I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying that. No, I don't want to interrupt you, but that layup happened, and it immediately took me to that flashback, that highlight that they always show of that layup. And I was waiting for one of the announcers, Chris Webber, and I forget who he's with, but I was waiting for
Reggie Miller,
right. I was waiting for one of them to say it, and finally one of them was like, don't get me wrong, but that kind of looked like the Michael Jordan, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone's freaked out. They're like, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want you to get mad at me. But that's what it was. It was picturesque.
Yeah.
Cam disappeared on us camera-wise. Cam, you there?
I got you. Yeah, it's just battery.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, the proof is in the pudding, man. Like me and Emilio talk about it all the time. And the Lakers just have a more complete team. But when you're talking about the star players on Denver, Jokic and Jamal Murray against AD and LeBron, I feel like the Lakers they lead players play a much better game. That last game, they played a much better game than Jokic and Murray. But Murray was on fire. When we got moves like that, you understand what I'm saying? Like you can't dispute it. You know what I'm saying? And I think they got him against the ropes. You know what I'm saying? I want to really see. Now, mind you, it's 3-1. And we've seen this story before. Twice. In two series, we've seen this story before with Denver.
Listen,
I want to see what happens.
I got the answer, Cam and Marcus Mack, that what needs to be done in order for Denver to make this series, okay? Jamal Murray needs to go into his hotel room, get his significant other, and tell her it's time for the double twisty and the extra sloppy top overdrive.
The double hand twist.
The double hand twist, no hands, everything. Listen, obviously I'm joking. I'm not being serious, but
I'm dead serious.
Jamal Murray's doing everything he can. Some of these others need to help him and Jokic.
Like Millsap. Listen, you know how many times I'll be ready to sit Millsap down? Sit him down. Send him back. Send him back.
He's literally there just for defense and the occasional shot. But, that was really the whole story coming into this. I really thought that the Nuggets matched up better with the Lakers than they did with the Clippers and with the Jazz, because the Jazz and the Clippers have more of a supporting cast around their guys versus the Lakers, who doesn't really have that third or fourth player. So I was expecting this to be a lot closer of a series, but you don't have the guys stepping up on Denver like you do. And the fact that last night the Nuggets were getting killed by Dwight Howard, Caldwell Pope, and Rajon Rondo like it's 2010. Like, that shit cannot happen, bro. Like, it was – and Charles Barkley said it perfectly at halftime. This is a must-win game for the Nuggets. You're not going to come back and win 3 games in a row against LeBron. That doesn't work. I don't care if you've done it twice already.
I feel like the Lakers have gotten to the Denver Nuggets because when you think about it, Jokic and Murray were running on 1,000,000 miles an hour when they were playing in those 2 other series. And I think in this series – they slowed them down a bit. Like Dwight Howard, his little annoying constant fouls and tic-tac, like getting on Jokic is kind of like slowing Jokic's pace, where Jokic wants to just literally, the ball goes in the hoop, let's take it out of bounds, let's get up the floor. We got a defensive rebound, let's run, let's go up the floor. Because Jokic, in my opinion, actually, he might not be athletic as everyone else, but the way he runs up the floor and plays the 2-man game is better than anybody else on the Lakers.
Right. He plays the half game extremely well. So, what the Lakers are doing, they were trying to play against that. And I think they've been doing well. But, it also is the fact that the Nuggets have played a lot more games than the Lakers. So maybe some fatigue's coming into play here. But it had everything last night, at least, had everything to do with the boards. All those second chance points, those offensive rebounds that the Lakers were getting. I mean, you could say that, the fouls, it's kind of leaning towards the Lakers. LeBron went to the line twice in game 3 and he complained to the league, and then he went to the line, 7 times this past game. So,
and just for the record, I definitely want to add this. I think AD is picking up some of those foul skills from LeBron. You could just touch the air the wrong way, and he's gonna he's definitely
They're pros at it.
So now we're gonna get to your series, Cameron. We're gonna get into the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Now I'm gonna ask you. This is just my opinion. I'm gonna ask you, but in my opinion, I feel like the Boston Celtics are underperforming. I know you're gonna sit there and you're probably gonna sit there and say you're gonna go with the Heat. You're gonna say they're playing great basketball, which I don't disagree with. But I just feel like, in my opinion, it's more of a bad performance on behalf of the Boston Celtics that are making it a little bit much easier for the Heat to win these games.
I mean, listen, they played a great game in the game they won. I think it was game 3. The first 2 games, the optics made it look like they're playing bad basketball because they blew these leads, these double-digit leads to the Heat in the second half. And you can call it resiliency on the end of the Heat, but at the end of the day, I said that I would have rather played the Raptors than the Celtics in this series because I think the Celtics match up better with us. I didn't think the Heat were going to outplay the Celtics at their own game in the first 2 games of the series,
right.
And that's exactly what we saw. However, in game 4, that was the Heat simply outplaying the Celtics the entire way. They stuck with them the entire way. It wasn't a comeback from behind like they did in the first 2 games. So I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this series. I thought it was a must-win game for the Heat the other night because if this thing would have went 2-2, I really thought it was going to swing back to Boston's favor.
Tyler Hero played like it was a must-win. He had 37. That kid,
man.
in all actuality, if they end up going to the finals, as a matter of fact, if they make it to the finals and they celebrate in the locker room and they pop champagne, he's going to be drinking a Capri Sun sitting outside because he's not even leaving to drink.
Yeah.
He's not a major. I mean, bro, he was lights out, man. He played like a veteran. He straight up just played like someone that has been there before, and he's never been in a spot like this. Like, the kid he's just simply a bucket head.
Jimmy Bucket and Tyler Hero Bucket.
Yeah. It was a sprinkle of Bam.
A sprinkle of Bam. As Marcus Mack sips his yak on this Effort Friday episode.
Elegantly.
Let's get into what everybody wants to talk about. Week 3 picks. Week 3. I need to win. I'm tired of this shit, okay?
So take my picks then.
I was the XFL guru. I need to start my NFL guru run right now.
Okay, Marcus, prepare yourself to pick the number here. Not the team, pick the number. So,
oh man, can I pick both?
Listen here. Listen, if you're gonna crown yourself, you got to bring yourself on an equal playing field. So,
oh man,
I feel a good 7-0 run for me right now.
Tomato.
So here we go on the 1 o'clock games. First game we have up is the red hot Las Vegas Raiders. I didn't fuck up and say the Oakland Raiders, but they're on the road in New England playing the Patriots. The Patriots are actually -5.5. I'll get it started here. I'm thinking, even though I really loved what I saw out of Cam Newton, he looked the Cam Newton of MVP, the Cam Newton of the year they went to the Super Bowl. His throwing motion is the best I've seen in the past 5 years, and he's still doing what he can with his legs. But the confidence that I'm seeing Las Vegas play with right now, mixed with the fact of what I saw out of Stephon Gilmore getting burnt by DK Metcalf last week, I think that can happen again this week with Henry Ruggs and some of the crew and Darren Waller that the Raiders have. So I'm taking the Raiders +5.5.
I'm going with the Patriots -5.5. Who you got?
Patriots.
-5.5, not just to win the game.
Yeah, I come with all these new rules. You see?
New rules? They're the same rules. They just apply to you now.
All right.
Go
So
to game
okay.
two, Cam.
Okay. So wait. So I can't go with the win and who I think is going to cover the spread.
You can, go ahead.
All right. So I like New England to win, but New England is favored by 5
and a half.
And a half. Okay. So the Raiders got to win by 6. They need to win by 6. They ain't got to win by a touchdown.
No, the Raiders need to not lose by 6.
By
they
6,
need to lose by.
I don't think the Raiders going to cover that spread.
All right, so you're taking the Patriots with the points,
right?
Or you're laying the points with the Patriots. Then second game, 1:00, the Los Angeles Rams in Buffalo. Buffalo is -1.5. Emilio.
Hey, listen, I messed up last week. I took Philadelphia. I went against the grain. I thought the 3-hour time difference was going to make a big deal. And Sean McVay and them boys with the LA Rams, they proved me 100% wrong. I'm not going down that train again. I'm taking the Rams plus the 1.5 in Buffalo to beat Allen and them boys. I'm not doing that again. I made a mistake last week. I'm not making the same mistake again. I'll go with the Rams plus the points.
You taking the Rams over? You taking the Rams over the Bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over Buffalo?
Yep.
I know he likes Buffalo. I'm taking the Bills high on Josh Allen. I think this is the year that he gets his arm in check. His legs are obviously still there. Their defense is still one of the highest paid defenses in the league. It is a trip across sea, back to back in a row for the Rams. I did pick the Rams last week over the Eagles, but I like me some Bills here -1.5.
Who you got, Marcus?
You know who I got? Rough Buff. Give me Rough Buff.
Okay. Buffalo -1.5. Marcus is on board. Next game on the slate, the Houston Texans at the Steelers. The Steelers are -4. I'll kick it off. It's been a weird year for Houston. They looked great in the first game. They played tough competition. They played the Chiefs in the first game and the Ravens in the second game. So it's not much easier for them here. They're playing the Steelers in the third game on the road. And I'm just going to stick with what I've always been doing. I'm 2-0 so far in Pittsburgh bets. I'm taking the Steelers -4 because of that defense.
I don't see the Houston Texans going 0-3. It would be hell and high water. It'd be panic mode if they go to 0-3 for Bill O'Brien and them boys over in Houston. Deshaun Watson got a really, really big deal this past offseason. David Johnson, all them boys, they need to start showing it, like, in all honesty. So I don't think the Houston Texans go 0-3. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans with the points. Go ahead, Marcus.
Man, that's a tough one.
Just go
Who
ahead
you like, Cameron?
Jerseys.
Cameron, who you like?
I picked the Steelers. I think Big Ben is back, baby.
I can't lie. I might want to go because I like Houston too against Pittsburgh, but then I can't lie. I don't think they're gonna do too well against their offense. So I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
San Fran on the road against the New York Giants. The Giants are playing.
Oh, you already know who I'm picking with this. You already know
game. Well, I don't know if you know about all these injuries, but this game is an absolute shit fest. You got Saquon Barkley out for the year. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's out. I think Nick Mullins is the quarterback for the 49ers. I think George Kittle's still hobbling around. I think he's a good to go play for this week. And didn't Bosa get hurt? Didn't Nick Bosa get hurt on that defense?
Yeah.
I mean, this is an absolute shit fest. I'm picking San Fran simply because I think the 49ers still have a secondary, and if they don't have Saquon, then they're going to have to rely on Danny Dimes. So give me the 49ers in the most meaningless, unconfident way possible.
Any given day, this would be a -9, -10 spread for the San Francisco Giants. With the San Francisco 49ers, sorry. With the San Francisco 49ers having so many people hurt, obviously the spread is much lower. I'm going to take San Francisco because I feel like Shanahan's a better coach than Judge. I'm not going to do that. So I'll take the San Francisco 49ers to cover the spread. Go ahead, Marcus.
San Fran for me, so give me San Fran.
All right, we're all aboard. Next game, you have Tennessee Titans on the road against Minnesota. Minnesota is +3 at home. They have looked like hot trash. Kirk Cousins has looked like an absolute bum this past game. I think he was like 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, sub 200 yards. I mean, it's terrible. The defense in Minnesota is all young. They got no They got no depth out there on the defensive side of the ball for the first time in a very long time. I honestly think they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence at this point. So give me Tennessee -3 on the road.
I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings +3 because I think Mike Zimmer fires these boys up and they don't go 0-3. He'll get one, and he's at home. Don't forget, he's at home. It's a little bit different. So I think he gets one at home. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings +3. And if he dies,
he dies.
He dies.
I like Tennessee.
Yeah, you always like Tennessee.
I mean,
always
yeah.
Tannehill.
Yeah, of course.
Your Highness.
Yeah, that's a fact. I told you I liked him back from the Miami days.
No doubt. You have the next game, still 1 o'clock. So you got the Washington football team on the road against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are -7. Emilio, you can take this one first.
I would love to take the Washington football team +7 points. I would really, I mean, I don't trust giving the Cleveland Browns 7 points. I really don't. It's just tough, man. I mean, it really is because you don't know which Dwayne Haskins you're going to get. I'm going to say that Ron Rivera gets those boys ready, so I'm going to take the Washington football team +7.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. I really want to take the Washington football team because I'm kind of like – I'm like a little sleeper on them. Like when you get a good Dwayne Haskins, it ends up being a good football team for the day at least. However, I don't know, man. I mean, the Browns, I just feel like their defense has been so garbage. Obviously, they got torn up in Week 1 against the Ravens, and they gave up a lot of points against Joe Burrow in that Week 2 matchup. So, I mean, I think the over looks nice in this game. I don't even know where it's at. The Browns -7, that's a big number, like you said, for such a garbage-ass team. But I just think they needed to see one win. Now that they got one win under their belt, I think their conference is going to be high. Two home games in a row. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them to win by 8 though. The Browns. I don't like them to win by 8.
I would have loved 6.5.
Yeah.
So who you going with, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Washington.
Okay.
That's brave. I like that pick. I'm proud of you for that pick. Next on the slate here, we got the Cincinnati Bengals on the road against, oh my God, just a train wreck of a team in the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are -4.5 at home. I'm going to pick the Eagles here simply off of sheer desperation. I think it's Philly. I think they're still gritty. I think there's still something on that defense that's not going to allow a rookie quarterback to come in and into their stadium and shit on them. I think this is like a major hot seat game for Doug Peterson. So give me Philly in a desperation heave -4.5.
Joe Burrow has been amazing, not for nothing. Let's just get that out of the way. He's been what you want a number 1 overall pick to completely be. I just find it really, really tough for the Philadelphia Eagles to go 0-3. So I'm going to go with Philly as well. Philly, don't fucking let me down, okay? This is the 3rd fucking week I'm taking you fucking assholes.
Wait, and I went against Philly for the first 2 weeks. But I think I want to go now. Mind you, I've been taking both of y'all picks for this whole time. Don't think it's because this is what you guys picked. It's for the record. But I'm going with Philly. See, look, can I point this out? Cam, Emilio don't like this. He doesn't like this because I've been on a roll for the past 2 weeks. But I'm going with Philly.
We're gonna see.
He's coming back down to earth this week. He's gonna.
What's the spread? What's the spread?
-4.5. Philly.
Yeah.
The Philly to win by 5.
By 5. Yeah. Give me Philly.
Speaking of Phillies, are you rolling a Philly over there? What was that?
Yeah, I actually am. Just for the record, for all the viewers, in South Florida.
It's CBD.
Once you have a license for medical marijuana, you can smoke. Proceed, fellas.
Oh, see, you got glaucoma. Okay.
Yes, and a bad back.
The last, you got anemia. It helps your eating. The last 1 o'clock game, we have the Chicago Bears, who have been red hot, 2-0. Trubisky, ever since that 3rd or 4th quarter of Week 1, has looked like a different person from the first 2 or 3 years of his career. They're on the road against the Atlanta Falcons, who are in the same situation as Philly. The Falcons are -3. I'll let you go first, Emilio.
I am not going against the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think – I mean, if we really think about it, Atlanta blew a really, really big lead, but Atlanta scored a ton of fucking points in that game. So I'm going to go with Atlanta in Atlanta without question to beat up on Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, something's got to give with this team, for God's sakes. I feel like they've just been in like such a hole ever since the 28-3 Super Bowl against the Patriots. It's like they've never even came back from that.
Something's got to give. Keep praying for that, man.
I mean, they're a good football team. I mean, Julio Jones is like the second receiver now. Calvin Ridley has been amazing these first couple weeks. They have Todd Gurley. It's just their defense and their bonehead-ass special teams that they weren't able to jump on a live onside kick. But regardless, I'm rambling here. I got to take Atlanta just like I took Philly, simply off of desperation.
Well, whatever.
Wait. How the fuck do you play in the NFL and you play on special teams?
And you don't know
the fucking rules.
You're on the hands team. You don't know the rules, and 3 people were like just staring at it. That was like Shaq being a fool. Come on, man. That was everything in the book. All 3 of those guys should be taken off the hands team.
Marcus, who you got?
I ain't gonna lie. I'll take Chicago, and I'm only taking Chicago because you've seen those first 2 games with Atlanta. They screwed up the whole. Listen, no, not going with Atlanta at all. I'm not saying they're gonna lose every single game this season. And in any other case, I probably would have picked any team against Chicago, but against Atlanta, and it's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And who's the favorite here?
-3 Atlanta.
Yeah,
just because they're home. They give the home team 3 points, so they're
Give me
thinking it's
Chicago.
going to be an even game.
Give me Chicago. I like them to cover that.
Before you go to the 4 o'clock pick, Cameron, I just have to ask you a quick question. I know we're all with this suck for Trevor Lawrence thing in certain teams, Minnesota or whatever it may be. Do you think there's a suck for Trevor Lawrence in ATL?
I think it could be a possibility. I definitely don't think they came into the year looking to tank right away. Like I said, you don't score 40 points against the Cowboys and tank. It doesn't look like they're in a spot to tank, but they might just take some inventory at this point, halfway through the year, see where they're at, and if they want to make pull the trigger and go that route, they certainly can. But I don't think the Matt Ryan's the problem. I think the defense is the problem and the coaching is the issue.
Good points. Who we got for the 4 o'clock slates?
First game in the 4 o'clock game, 4 o'clock slate. We have your New York Jets, the terrific Jets at the Indians. Bro, you know what? You're so used to it by now, bro. Like, you're immune to this shit. The Jets. Yo,
listen, everything, say it with me, fellas. Everything out of New York is
sucky.
Shit.
Sucky. Other than Buffalo.
Yeah, they're like in Canada. They're not even in New York. But yeah, they're on the road in the Dome going against the Colts. The Colts, this is the biggest spread of the week. It's -12.5. Emilio, I hate taking numbers this big. Even though, I mean, he doesn't have anyone to throw to. Darnold doesn't have it. Rashad Perryman is out. Jameson Crowder out. I don't really know, how they're going to cover the 12.5 here. Even though I hate the number, I want to take it because I hate it. So I'm taking Indianapolis.
Let me explain something to you. I'm not giving the Jets 12.5. I'm giving Sam Darnold 12.5. That's what I'm doing. I'm not giving the Jets. I'm giving Sam, because Sam needs fucking 12.5 because he has the Publix bagger, the cashier, the customer service clerk, and the fucking guy that goes gets the shopping carts outside playing with them on the team.
Yeah, and they're banged up, even despite all that. You could say that about a lot of teams, but I think, like I said, Sam Darnold hasn't been the problem. So I think you're right on that point. I think it will end up being like a backdoor cover. They'll be down 14 to 17 points, and you'll get a garbage time touchdown, and they'll lose by like 7 to 10. So I think it could be that way.
I'll fucking take it right about now. Go ahead, Marcus. Who you got?
You said they by 12, -12? Colts? 12.5, Colts? They got to win by 2 touchdowns? Indianapolis Colts got to win by 2 touchdowns? Against the Jets?
Yeah.
That's right.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't like that. But I'm going with the Colts. I don't like the spread though. I don't like the spread.
Yeah, it's you don't like it, but you feel like you have to. Next 4:00 game, you have Carolina. You have the Carolina Panthers cross-country road trip to play the Los Angeles Chargers in that new stadium. The Chargers are -6.5. Justin Herbert looked great in the second game of the year against the Chiefs. I have to pick the Chargers here. This seems like the number should be bigger because Christian McCaffrey isn't playing, and they're going all the way out to LA. And the Chargers defense is very, very, very sneaky good. I don't know why the number is only 6.5, but I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm going to tell you why the number is 6.5. Just like I said with Darnold, I'm not giving Carolina 6 points. I'm giving Teddy Bridgewater 6.5 points because Teddy can get it done. You can get the shitty-ass backdoor cover for the fucking 6 points to cover at the end of the game.
So, I mean, it's going to have to be on Teddy Bridgewater. Does he deserve the 6.5 points? Does he have, is DJ Moore and these other guys on staff for him? Is he going to be able to get it done without that? Derwin James back in lineup for the Chargers. So, I don't know if he deserves the 6.5 points. I like him. He's a good football player, but I got to take the Chargers in that spot.
I think Herbert comes down back to earth a little bit. He had an amazing performance in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think he comes back down. We saw the mistake at the end of the game. We saw the mistake. The mistake happened. He was perfect. He was plush. He threw that pick for no fucking reason whatsoever. So I think that's going to end up happening in week 2. There's going to be some mistakes that he's going to have, some reads he's not going to be able to make. I know Pep Hamilton. Shout out to Pep Hamilton, former coach of the DC Defenders in the XFL. He's the Chargers offensive coordinator. He's going to try to simplify the game, but Matt Rule and the boys are going to be ready. I'm going to take the backdoor cover of Carolina plus 6.5.
Yeah, I like LA.
LA minus 6.5. That's who you're taking. Okay.
Yeah, I like LA.
Next 4:00 game, we have the Detroit Lions on the road against terrific Kyler Murray. He's been amazing, but they're playing in Arizona, and the Cardinals are -5.5. Emilio.
Fucking Matt Patricia. I'm fucking rooting for you. You, Matty Stafford, Mr. Pencil Neck. Like, dude, I'm rooting for you. I want to see you do good. Can you get a fucking win?
It's despair. The Lions are the Jets. I mean, they cannot figure out how to turn the boat around.
I'm going with the Lions. Kyler Murray and the boys, they don't get it done. I'm going with the Lions to cover the spread.
Brave soul. This has got to be the first, Belichick disciple that hasn't been able to figure the fucking thing out yet. 5.5 points. It reminds me of the Chargers game. I don't know why it's so low, especially because it's in Arizona. Both teams are dome teams. Maybe that's why they feel Detroit will feel comfortable, and it's a hungry dogs eat faster kind of game for the Lions. It's a desperate despair win, just like Philly and Atlanta this week. So I can see why you're going that way, but I'm taking Arizona.
Who you got, Marcus?
D. I'm in the D with it.
You're in the D
Detroit.
with it.
Okay. Motor City.
Pause.
Okay. Tampa Bay on the road in the Mile High City playing I was about to say the Nuggets, playing the Broncos. The Broncos
You might as well because the fucking Denver Broncos ain't going to show up to play this game.
Okay, so that tells me, so you're taking the Bucks -5.5 on the road.
Bucks -5.5. The fucking Denver Broncos have who playing quarterback? Blake Bortles? I don't fucking know who playing quarterback.
The boat, don't even show disrespect. The boat is back. Remember this, the last time we saw Tom Brady in the postseason was in the AFC Championship game, and he outplayed Tom Brady in that AFC Championship game. So look for that to happen again here. I'm taking, even though I hate it, I'm taking the Broncos +5.5. And I don't even know if Blake Bortles is going to play. I think it might even be Driscoll that starts the game. But who cares?
Give me Tom
Boat energy.
Tom Terrific.
Give me Tom Terrific.
So that was the last 4:00 game, Cameron?
One more. Dallas overrated, the Dallas Cowboys. So they're on the road against the Seahawks. The Seahawks have just been electrifying, man. Russell Wilson, I think this is finally the year, knock on wood, that he obtains that illustrious MVP trophy that has been missing him for a long time. He's been just amazing. The cast around him has been unreal. It is in Seattle. I feel like this is their third home game of the season, but I got to take Seattle -5.
Seattle all day long. Give me Mr. Sierra, Mr. Positivity, Mr. He's never said a negative thing that comes out his mouth. Russell
Golden
Wilson
boy.
is literally going to – he's going to get into public speaking after this is said and done. And he's going to convince blind people that they'll be able to see one day because that's how positive he is, without question. So give me Seattle minus the points.
Yeah, give me
He's
Seattle.
a golden boy.
I like Seattle.
All right. So we're all on the Seahawks boat. The night game. My Green Bay Packers on the road against the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are -3.5. Emilio, you can get this one started.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Let me explain something to you. I am not going against the GOAT. I am not going against AR-12. I am not going against Aaron Jones. I am not going against the plethora of overachieving wide receivers other than Devontae Adams that they have on that team without question. Now, defense, y'all motherfuckers is sucking right now. Y'all got to get y'all shit together. I don't know what it is. The coach, listen, LaFleur, whatever the fuck your name is, you better go into those defensive meetings and tell the boys to tighten up. You can't be giving fucking 30-plus points a fucking game and thinking you're going to win in the NFL. So get your shit together because we got Aaron Rodgers out here slinging it like he got something to prove.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, respect. Mike Pettin, did great things with his defense last year. I'm waiting to see it again this year. The pass rush hasn't really been there. There's been a lot of coverage sacks. The cornerbacks have really been holding this team up. We get Kenny Clark back this week. Kenny Clark is a top 3 interior defensive lineman in the NFL. So we get him back this year, which I'm excited about. That certainly should help against the New Orleans front. I really hate doing this, man. You know I'm a homer. And I think Aaron Rodgers is playing completely lights out. Devontae Adams is hobbling a little bit still. He's going to be a game-time decision. Either way, the New Orleans Saints are 10-0. Sean Payton and Drew Brees are 10-0 on Sunday night football games, and they're even better coming off a loss. So am I a homer? Yes, but I am a football realist first. I got to take – I wish it was -2.5, but I got to take the Saints -3. I hope I'm wrong.
That's it. That's what it is. Saints is favored by 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm going Green Bay. Cheesehead.
Hope you boys are right.
Let's go with that Monday night game.
Monday night game. This is looking like the Super Bowl matchup here. You got this Kansas City Chiefs on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are -3.5. I'll let you kick this one off.
I'm telling you right now, I am not going against the South Florida boy, the MVP, the Madden 21 cover, Mr. Boynton Beach, Mr. Pompano Beach. I am not going against Lamar Jackson and boys. Them boys is ready. They got freaking 3 running backs in the backfield. All of them could score touchdowns. Mark Andrews is catching more balls than wide receivers are catching in the NFL. And not to mention, you can't even stop Lamar Jackson. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, you can't make it really more simple than this. I hated the way Kansas City looked in the first half of the game last week against the Chargers. If any of that flows into this game, they're going to have a serious problem against
They'll be down 20. They'll be down 20 before you know it.
Yeah, because they don't play around the Ravens on offense, especially at home, especially under the big lights like this. I mean, Lamar's he's picturesque in moments like this. So the fact that J.K. Dobbins is there, like everyone forgets about it, and it's just they got an unfair offense, and their defense is overperforming right now. So I got to take the Ravens. I don't see how it's -3.5.
So I'm going with Baltimore.
So here we go. So we got all of our picks are in. I'm gonna win no matter fucking what. I'm done. I'm being cocky as shit. I'm gonna win. So Cameron, I appreciate you jumping on.
Wait, can we get an update on the score? The Boston game?
What is the score? I haven't been paying attention.
Oh, you ain't check it out? Let's get an update on the score real quick. Let's let y'all know.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I'm about to head out to watch the second half. So hopefully we're in business.
So you got it, Marcus, or no?
Nah, go ahead. So
anyway, this is gonna conclude episode. This is 92, right?
92.
Wow.
92, episode 92 of the EAC Show. I'm Emilio A. Colon. That is Marcus Mack, the big one, UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast. Cameron Dinnan joined us on this episode. This fucking Friday episode. Marcus, you can catch Marcus on our IG page for the Deanie's Lounge, University of Miami versus Florida State game. And we wish good luck to UCF for Cameron, and we all want to see the Green Bay Packers beat the shit out of the New Orleans
Yeah,
Saints.
and I'm definitely going to be crowned king for week 3, just so that you guys know. It's a second quarter right now as we speak. It's the second quarter, and the Miami Heat is up by 10. It's 40-30. Right? I'm about to go check out the rest of this game. Y'all keep it cool. How y'all be cool? Yo, Cam, I miss you, bro. Now, listen, there's not too many episodes where we could just hang out. I could roll up. I left my lighter in the car. I could roll up. I could just chill. Y'all just do y'all thing, and I could give y'all my award-winning picks for week 3.
have my lemon pepper wings drums only ready, okay?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Y'all pull up.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.